Welcome, adventurers, to another episode of D20 Theater. Today's episode is sponsored by Prince of the Realm, who makes some amazing maps. Now, this is a company I actually discovered on my own just through Facebook. They're a brand new company, and I ordered from them, and as soon as I got the product in, I contacted them asking if they'd be interested in doing a giveaway. And so today, we have the opportunity for you to win a fantastic prize. First, let me show you what I got from them. Sam, you're the closest over there to the cameras. Why don't you show them this awesome map of Chult?
Oh, yeah.
So this amazing map of Chult, it's full color vinyl wet erase, incredible detail on this map. And this map was only $25. Now if you've ever gotten a vinyl map printed, they're incredibly expensive. But this one, even with the wet erase and full color, was only $25. So this company blows my mind with their incredible service. I got it within a couple days of the order. I just was very satisfied.
That's
so today, they have a fantastic prize for us to give away to you. And that prize is a certificate for a 10 square foot map. This is a custom map. You can send them an image file that either you've created or one you've purchased. You can't send one that you just stole, so don't just find one on the internet. You have to have actually purchased it or created it, and you send that to them, and they are planning on actually providing that to one lucky winner. So here's how we're going to determine the winner. This episode, when it airs on YouTube, which will be later this week, we're going to try to have it up there as soon as possible, and we'll be sharing it on Facebook. Like, share, subscribe to that episode, and then, by the time our next episode happens, we will have randomly selected a winner out of the people who liked, shared, and subscribed. And that person will be contacted, and we'll announce it in the next video to claim their reward.
And also make sure to like, share, and subscribe Prince of the Realm, too.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And the episode that you will need to share is episode 11, which is this episode right here, that'll be on YouTube later this week. Episode 11, which will be titled Old Habits. Well, Greg, let's hit it with the recap.
All right. When last we left our heroes, we left the dwarven city of a what's the name of the pass?
Krari's
Pass. The unrememberable pass. And journeyed into the old dwarven Temple of the Three to drive out the infestation of what we assumed were deep goblins, and what indeed turned out to be mostly deep goblins. However, these deep goblins were armed, and in adamantine, I believe they were. And they had more metal to them, pun intended, than most goblins. We fought through quite a number of them, and then found our way. We rescued, in fact, from one of the areas, one of the steel folk who had been stuck here since the Third Rise, so about 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
We still have him. Yeah, he's still with us, I think.
He is, yeah.
And we also discovered the current lord of the place, who was a dragon, a red dragon, to whom our intrepid warlord immediately swore an oath of fealty and received a level in Warlock, earning some small amount of ire from the party's silencer. And so then we dealt with I think pretty much all of the goblins, left the dragon where it is, and are sort of falling back to regroup somewhat. And I believe that catches us up to where we are.
I believe it does.
Yeah, we had to fall back. It was getting pretty tough in there.
We were tired.
All right. So, are we still wanting to take on that dragon?
I sort of.
Have we taken a long rest? If so, then yes.
I don't think at this point we have.
Not yet.
I think you'd have time here for a short rest. A long rest, the dragon might come out and start being like, "What's going on? Where did everybody go?" And you also know that there is that contingent of dwarf soldiers on their way.
Oh. Yeah, we do kind of want to get a move on.
Yeah, but don't you think they would help us?
They might.
Yeah.
But then they're taking cuts of the experience.
Got a point.
I mean, then they're in danger.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I meant. Then they are in danger.
Also,
of
of course, if you were to slay a dragon before the dwarves arrive, when they show up and there's this dragon head there, that's gonna be impressive.
We're kind of a big deal.
Yeah, we're kind of a big deal.
Yeah, but do we want to put more trouble on ourselves?
I mean, kinda.
Why?
Because Dragon Slayers, though.
It'd be a nice title for sure.
My vote is yes.
I think a
It
short
is
rest
wicked
would be
creature.
really nice.
All right.
Really.
So we'll
really
take a
nice.
short rest and then we'll fight a dragon.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Is this the first dragon we fought on this stream?
Yes, this is
All
the
right.
first dragon.
We can now officially call it Dungeons and Dragons.
We have done.
We are
both
in
of
a
those
dungeon,
things.
and
There
be
is a
dragons.
dragon.
Okay, well I will.
Dungeons and
certainly
Dragons.
spend 4 hit dice.
Oh yeah, hit dice for sure. Ooh.
I'm sorry, not that. I mean, the world's most popular role-playing game.
Are we not?
What's it say?
I don't know. I don't know if they're big on it on streams or not.
Ooh. I heard
Is this
sound.
muted?
No, I heard sound. Whenever I was listening.
Now it's
No,
muted.
don't.
Fix it. It's good now.
Yeah, there's sound on the stream.
All right. So was there a chance that there might not be?
Yeah, there was.
Oh, okay.
There was no.
Yeah, we have people saying that they can hear.
Okay, good.
Very good. Very good.
Never mind then.
Okay.
Just playing.
Load
Turn up
it up on
this
hit
mic
points,
a little.
and
I'll turn this one to max.
did we already take a short rest today?
No.
We haven't taken a short rest at all.
That's pretty good.
Oh, I have 1 hit point.
Take that. Take those hit dice,
Facebook. Okay.
dude.
What level are we?
4.
We are
Four.
4.
So you got
I
4
forgot
d8s.
my cards.
Then I'm level 5. Is
So
that
we
level?
didn't- we're not.
Yes.
I'm stupid.
So yeah, we have
Oh,
not
it's true.
leveled up yet. I guess you're sort of level 5.
Kind
The
of,
rest
yeah.
us not.
Then I'm gonna get a single
I'm gonna
spell.
change dice.
Oh, 2 spell slots.
2
back.
spells.
That's
on the
so
ball.
long rest afterwards. No, this sucks. I gotta de-level my character.
No, you don't need to.
I do.
Oh wait, so
Oh,
we're level
did you
4,
go up
correct?
to? Did you go up to Warlord 5?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I see. Yeah.
So I rolled minimum on all those hit dice.
Bummer.
That's
Don't
pretty
do
unlikely.
that extra
I'm now
attack.
at 10.
Oh wow, I rolled
Yeah.
pretty
I mean,
nice.
that's
That, I think
Yeah,
that's the only
Yeah,
thing.
that and health. I think that's it.
Yeah.
And proficiency.
You're level 4.
Oh.
Yeah, because
Still, there's not that.
It's just hit dice,
No,
right? It's not plus con.
Yeah.
Or is
It,
it
for
plus
one
con?
fight, it would
Yeah.
be an issue.
your weapon is +1 more than it was.
For
Is
this
it con
time.
per dice?
Yeah.
Plus con.
Cool. I'm at 18 then with con.
You rolled all right.
And you said you rolled minimum?
Yeah, I got 2 2s.
8 plus 24 is
Oh.
32.
Mm.
I'm max health.
And then
All right,
Two,
nice.
1, 1.
I made it there also. I rolled a little better
What the
than
hell?
you did.
What's your con?
it's 2.
I don't remember that.
What's your
Bad
con?
math.
So
I kinda
you
like
guys
fingers,
probably remember
so
the
other
layout
like-
of this room. It was a large room with a huge
Dragon.
dragon.
Wicked
in it.
money.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do? It's basically a large rectangular room. We're just gonna use this room right here
Rar.
and call that it. We're gonna say just like before, I've kind of turned it, and so this will be where the door was, and the other door down here.
I believe that. Yeah.
All right.
Let's go. Put me up front.
So you heading back in?
Yeah,
Still no Hoofy.
we're just waltzing in right now.
Just waltz.
I
Yeah.
will still die if we fight this
Oh
dragon.
yeah.
We
but
know.
Fine.
We know.
It's all good.
Just
Is
don't jump
Paladin
into its
with
mouth.
us?
He's not.
Okay.
This
Oh yeah,
paladin
I
is-
have no spell
As you
slots.
creak open the huge doors, you
Okay, why
hear
don't you-
again
You're gonna
in the
be
darkness a
front of me.
voice.
I'm just gonna throw that.
Ah, you return to me.
Is the dwarf leading first?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
We.
it has been long since I saw one of your kind.
Is he still speaking Deep Goblin?
He is.
He is surprised to see another of your people.
I am, he says in Dwarven.
Oh.
Oh.
I speak that.
I suppose you would be then. I'm Thaddeus Pult.
Odd. A strange name for a dwarf.
It would take a strange dwarf to come back down here, I think.
Yes, it would. And exceedingly. And you see flames sort of erupt from his nostrils. Rare. And all around the room, as he laughs, this big bellowing laugh, fire erupts as torches just start lighting all around the room.
How lovely.
Agamemnon, I have done as you asked and have rid of the deep goblins in this place.
Good. You will make a much finer slave.
Yes, I will.
set to work then on the forges.
What am I to do there?
Create great gifts, of course. Great gifts for your master.
I don't know how to do that.
Did it give me the power to do that?
It did not.
Oh wait, I have the obsidian helm. I get spell slots.
Oh.
Are you doing a dance? Oh, okay.
So I guess I'll say, I do not think I am capable of such grandeur, my sovereign lord.
I get one spell.
That's pretty handy.
So I say that.
Alright.
In fact, I may have a better idea if I may make a suggestion for his servitude.
Oh.
Yes. It will start with a single suggestion. When I posture this to you, you may see it wiser to not grace us with the touch of your powerful breath.
What is this suggestion?
Tell us.
I'm suggesting that he not use his breath on us.
You're suggesting or you're suggesting?
with a capital S.
Alright, and he rolls a 4.
Oh my god.
Nice. Alright. He smiles and he says, "Why would I have any cause to do that?" And he leans down real close and he smiles a wide toothy grin, and you can see just embers glowing in the back of his throat.
Does he have legendary resistance?
Speaking of legendary resistance, I'm gonna use my cleric cantrip now and cast resist. I'm gonna say fire.
He starts to lean back up and he says, "You prepare for battle."
No, literally, I just scratched my chest.
Oh, roll me a sleight of hand check.
Oh, there you go.
Because I'm sure it has a verbal and somatic component.
Yes. I just feel like, I'm resisting the scratch right now.
That's a crit.
Oh my god.
Good start.
Alright, then in that case, he looks at you for a moment just oddly and then goes back to you.
I would suggest that you test the metal of your servant, as well as the metal of his companion.
A duel, then. Very well.
Between, of course, the group of us.
It is agreed. You can, outside the room, just on the other side of the wall, sort of posted up, holding a big heavy mace, you hear, "Does that include me?"
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
heck yeah,
he's a friend. We made a friend.
Oh, grab the mini.
Beautiful friend.
Oh,
Oh.
our enormous
Yeah.
steel folk friend.
Does
that include
me?
Does that include me?
This is not our steel.
That is.
It is, yeah.
That's who
We
he's
just
supposed
used the
to be.
obsidian golem.
Yeah.
We had to use that other one because
Yeah.
the obsidian golem was a
Yeah.
pirate.
He says, "All right," and he comes clanking into the room, and the dragon looks down and he says, "Ha ha! You have freed another slave, I see. Very well.
Next to me.
Then it seems metal will indeed be tested."
It's good.
He says, "However, I agree to your terms. I will not use my breath on you."
I heard it.
No, he said us. He just said us while he wasn't in the room. All right. He rears up in a huge stance. Roll for initiative.
Oh boy! What do we get then? Is it D4? Brandon?
D4.
Ooh. I'm looking
Come
pretty
on.
big.
Ooh.
Not too bad.
Esteem?
I got 22.
Oh,
Nice.
wow. You did
Uh,
What is it, 20?
Thaddeus?
15.
Farin?
20.
Nice.
Nice, guys.
UI?
18.
Yeah, you are.
Osborne?
14. I'm 15.
15?
That's pretty handy. That's pretty good.
What about
We're doing all right.
the steel folk man?
He got a 16.
All right. Well done, Mr. Steel folk man.
And
I've got one spell slot.
I'm probably going to use it for bless.
I remember.
So...
That was my last second level slot. You're welcome. I'm welcome.
I'm
You're
welcome.
I'm welcome.
We're welcome.
All right, Esteem, you're up first.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not great.
Fair.
In that case, I will heroically not charge forward and cast a chill touch on this fellow.
All right.
So that's a 18. That's an
18 will hit.
for 2 necrotic damage.
2 necrotic.
And in fact, I think it was a 1 more than that because I forgot I raised my.
Oh, there you go. All right. A chill blast. Head straight. Oh no, this is chill touch. This isn't a chill blast. Worst name spell. All right, your claw erupts out of your coat and goes screaming across the ground until it climbs up onto the dragon and starts clawing at his tail. The dragon whips it against the wall where it shatters, but another's already on the way.
So we begin.
Foreign.
What color is this dragon?
This is it is a red dragon. Yeah, you couldn't tell that before because of the darkness, but he's definitely red.
Okay, and the molten mauled is that +1 weapon or just?
It's just +0.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, good. I didn't do that. All right, I am going to attempt to use command.
Okay.
On a dragon?
Yep.
Okay.
Why
That's
not?
right.
Because
Patron.
because I don't know anything about dragons. And I'm just going to say, what are some of the things that I can say?
Any one-word command.
Any one-word command.
Except, like, separate.
Undress.
Disrobe.
Yeah, it can't be something obviously harmful to it.
Right. Okay.
Gouge.
I do have command up. Command. Let's see. Grovel. That wouldn't work. Drop, approach, flee, halt. Okay. I'll just say, I'll look at him with my symbol
Of him.
Yeah, of him. Halt.
He laughs and he says, "You think I would allow my own magic against me?"
I guess I should have known that wouldn't work.
All right. UI.
UI, go
I'm going to
poop his snoot.
stand
An Eldritch Blast or something would still
in
work.
front
But like
of
a mind
our
save
friend
effect
here
probably wouldn't.
because he can't use his breath on me, so maybe he won't like go through me.
Maybe.
This might be a bad idea, but
Possibly.
that's where I'm standing.
It is where you're standing.
And I'm gonna throw an axe at his face
All right.
because we are fighting, right?
We are
Oh, we're fighting.
Okay.
Yeah, we're fighting
Do
him.
I add a D4 to this or just?
That's just initiative.
You're about to start adding D4s after I bless him.
No, that's not very good. I think it's a 16.
You're gonna bless him.
All right. You hurl an axe forward. He opens his mouth
Oh,
and swallows it.
It's a 17 actually.
Oh,
He still swallows
oh,
it.
he's, oh.
I no longer have an
We
axe.
narrowed down that armor class.
No, I
I
only
think we
have
did.
two.
That
Alright.
18's looking about.
Where it shouldn't face a dragon.
All
I
right.
ate one of my axes.
You got like a billion more.
Your new friend stands there and he goes, "All right, this one's a big boy." And he goes running towards him.
See what he's got.
As he heads forward, he swings up his mace. Oh man. He swings it into the dragon who catches it with a claw. And then as he tears and yanks, he tries to swing in for a second strike. But the dragon slams his other claw down right next to him. And eventually he has to pull away. That puts us at the dragon.
Oh, bummer.
All right.
I was
A little bit.
hoping we'd get to go first.
All right. Agamemnon says, "I shall melt you with the very fires that forged your ilk." And he flies around this direction, and he's going to use his breath weapon on
Hey,
the stone folk.
not all of us.
He left the Iron Folk's reach.
He did.
See what he's got.
All right. He failed to save, but the attack roll for the mace attack, the opportunity attack, still missed. Wow.
Crap.
Wow.
Come on.
With a +10 to hit, he's
Son of a gun.
yeah.
I'm gonna give him
Yeah, it can't be right. Oh, that is right.
You definitely give him bless.
Okay.
Maybe he won't get it.
All right. So, the steel folk, you can see parts of his arms and weapons start to melt, but he's still holding strong as just this molten steel drips off of him. And he says, I can go all day. And that's going to put us at Osborne.
Osborne is going to take his pouch of herbs and sprinkle them in the air as they begin to fall down on the steel golem, the warlord, and the paladin.
Okay.
Blessing them with Yuang's powers, and then I'm going to end my turn.
All right. And that puts us at Thaddeus.
You add
Alright.
D4 to attacks and save rolls for up to a minute.
Got it. I'm moving in. As I move in, I guess I'm gonna Lorimer, protect us. And my armor begins to shimmer with a light as I cast
That's
Shield
smart.
of Faith. And then I'm gonna swing in with my spear.
All right.
against This fellow.
Be gentle.
All right. Well, that's a 12, 18 with a +6 from the spear.
18, that'll
18.
hit. So taking your spear, you plunge it upwards into the creature's scaly underhide as he's struggling against the mace of the Iron Folk, of the Steel Folk.
For a tremendous 6 damage.
Ooh, that's some damage. And that puts us
That's my turn.
at Esteem.
Oh, back to me already? Okay. Well, I feel pretty confident popping a magic missile at this dude.
I'm gonna give the golem
So I'm gonna pew him.
Okay.
Pew him in fact. With some 3d4 action. It's gonna be a 10 total force damage.
Nice.
So that there big old red dragon.
All right.
How much was it?
10.
Nice.
All right, your magic missiles tear through the dragon's wings. It beats them harder, blowing you all backwards as you skid across the floor. And he roars and he says, Really? Such a tiny little spell. Your magics are nothing. And that puts us at Foreign.
You're right. Which is why I'm going to do this. And I take my maul that I
Okay.
have, and I'm going to go right up next to him.
All right.
And just like Link does to Volvagia in Ocarina of Time, swing down on his tail.
All right.
Let's see here. Oh, but that's a
Volvagia. It sounds a bit
poopy roll probably.
Sounds like something in your throat.
Yeah. It's a girl house.
It's a girl.
It's the second time tonight we've made that joke.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh wait, maybe not, because that was a
Missed that
good
first
bless. 10 plus 6 plus 4, 20.
20, that'll hit.
Ooh.
Hey!
Okay.
That was a good bless. Well blessed.
Blessed be thy wells.
10 bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And I'm going to mark him as a bonus action.
Nice.
And, you know what? I'm just going to stay there.
Okay. All right. UI.
I don't want to throw any more axes.
Are you salty about that?
I'm a little salty about that. Just a little bit.
What is she without her axes?
I'm gonna
Just
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
and
D4 instead of
with
D6.
an axe right in the hind leg. Why did you just curse me?
Should have blessed
right.
I got an 11.
Never mind, it wouldn't help.
All right, you go charging up and you swing an axe into the creature's scaly hide, but it pings off of one of the armored scales. He stomps around in a circle and he says, My hide is adamantine.
I'm not done. I'm then gonna punch. I'm gonna look him straight in the eyes and he says that. I'm gonna punch him.
All right.
Yeah, because my axe won't hit, but a punch
Come on
will.
with the crit. Come on with the
It
crit.
might. 17.
Oh.
With the bless?
I
Yep.
get a bless.
He doesn't get you.
Oh, that's right.
Now,
That's my damage.
he as you punch him, you slam into the side of his cheek, and he smiles, revealing
No,
a
I meant the
huge
same
grin.
side.
Oh, the same. Well, I mean, he had turned around.
I'm
He had
looking
just
at
turned
his
around
face.
as he did it. Yeah,
Oh.
you slam into the side of his cheek, and he smiles a huge, toothy smile with these massive jaws, and he says, "My teeth are stalagmites."
Ah, nice.
Whatever.
Shocking.
Okay, whatever.
Tail, thunderbolt.
All right, that puts us at Fedsnack. Fedsnack goes running forward again. Yeah,
Oh, right, no, that's the same.
yeah. Fedsnack Hornswallow.
Hornswallow.
He goes running
My
forward
favorite.
again, and he leaps up into the air with his mace overhead,
With Bless.
swinging it down. Oh, he has Bless. He's not going to need it for that one. He will need it for that one. And he made it. So he swings down overhead, slamming into the dragon's back, dealing 17 bludgeoning damage with his first strike. And as the dragon whips around, he swings right up into the bottom of its jaw for another 26 bludgeoning damage. Wow, that was almost max damage. That was insane.
That's why I
All right.
understand.
He says, "Hey, pick on somebody, I guess still a little smaller than you, but closer." And
Like a Jewish Stanley.
that puts us at the dragon. And the dragon is going to grab him in both of his claws and start to lift him.
He didn't use that card.
What? He hasn't. I mean, yeah, he used it, but I mean, it doesn't come into play until this happens.
That's true.
So the all right. Okay, so the dragon lifts him up, and as he does so, Fedsnack smacks one of his claws away, but the dragon tightens his grip with the other one, raising him up and squeezing for 10 damage on Fedsnack.
Attack now!
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He hit someone that's not you. Ha.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, 16, 22.
22 will hit.
I do too.
Everyone does. Everyone within range.
9 damage.
9 damage?
20
Not
to
much
hit.
we can do.
I'm
Again,
gonna go within range.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm hitting his tiny little footsies.
All right.
tiny little footsies.
I'm just spearing him.
20.
12 bludgeoning.
Okay.
Or
Like- Crack one of his toes.
7 damage.
Mhm.
As
Hello.
I axe him right in the same spot that he had punched him in the first
All
time.
right.
Yeah.
You just slap the top.
With a
of it.
huge organized maneuver, all of you strike forth, causing massive amounts of damage, and the dragon whips around and he goes, "You dare to give orders in my domain!" And he takes his huge jaws and clamps down onto you for 27 to hit, throwing you into the air. You fly up into the air and slam down onto the ground, taking 19 piercing damage. Oh, I'm sorry, 4 of it's fire, as just a tiny gout of flame erupts with it.
Still have that.
That's good,
Thank
I
you so
guess.
much for suggesting.
Osborne.
Is the Iron Golem in the grasp of said dragon?
Currently he is, yeah. But he's not, like, restrained. Yeah, he is in air.
Could my halfling self reach him
Yeah, I'd say so.
by touch? Okay, can you?
You
let
could
me
leap up and grab him.
I would like to leap up and go. What's his name?
Fedsnack?
That's it.
Fedsnack, here's you aim blast, and then I'm gonna smack his foot and cast resistance on him.
Oh,
Add
okay.
D4 to save throws.
So everyone loses bless.
Oh.
No, it's not concentration.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's
Resistance?
up to 1
It's a
minute.
cantrip, but it only works once.
Oh, okay, there you go.
So now I don't have resistance.
There you go.
Now he does.
Alright. Then...
Am I far enough to leave
5,
again?
10, 15, 20.
Maybe 5 foot back.
Alright.
Yeah, that way.
Then that puts us at Thaddeus.
All right. Seeing the dragon now just squeezing onto the steel folk, then that his sort of arms are up. That's leaving his ribs nice and exposed. So I've got a spear, so I'm just kind of driving the spear home over and over. It's not magical, but it's of fine dwarvish make, so I'll call that good enough. So swinging in. 1824 to hit
That'll hit.
for 8 more damage.
Nice. The dragon laughs and he says, "These are but thorns in the hide of a bear."
I'll show you thorns.
And that puts us at Esteem.
Thorn.
Oh, well then I'll pull my rapier of the two out and
Yeah.
what was that one too?
I think the rapier's name is Thorn, isn't it?
Is it? I didn't
One of
I
them's
catch the
Thorn.
names. Did they-
We'll say yeah.
Let's see, it's
There is a thorn.
Raptor and Thorn. The short sword's Thorn.
Oh.
Rapture or Raptor?
Raptor and
Raptor,
Thorn.
okay.
Rapture.
Neat.
That would be weird. That'd be
Yeah.
a weird BDSM. Rapture and thorn.
Rapture and Thorn. Well, I'll pull Thorn.
Alright.
Keith, and come and give the dude a shield. Wow. What's that thing? The
Shield
shocking
touch.
grass.
Oh.
A shield touch.
A
A shocking grass.
shield lightning touch.
It's a 17.
17 won't quite do it. You reach up and lightning arcs into his foot, but his hide is not really conductive, and the lightning just sort of dies as it heads up his leg. He laughs and he stamps his claw down next to you, kind of causing you to leap back a bit, and he says, "It tingles."
Adamantine, right?
Foreign.
Darn.
I go, this was a bad idea. And I'm gonna take my maul again, and this time as he's like, I guess looming over me and just like bearing the stalagmite teeth, I'm just gonna knock the heft of his horn.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
With my maul.
Ow.
Yep. 13 plus 4 plus 6.
That'll do it.
That bless.
4.
He didn't actually.
That one sucks. 6 plus 3, so 9 bludgeoning damage.
All right, nice.
And
You should pass me a
That's
chocolate chip.
exactly what I'm doing. It's the cookie train.
oh, I'm also I hit him, so I'm doing lockdown on him.
Oh,
Nice. Remind me what lockdown does?
You and allies have advantage to hit. When you hit an enemy, you can expend a CP to give you and allies advantage to hit that creature until the end of your next turn.
Oh my
Nice.
goodness.
There you go.
What,
Nice.
say that again?
You have advantage
This
to hit
turn, everyone has advantage to hit him.
him. Wait, until the end of my next turn?
There's
Until the end of my next
Yeah.
turn.
if you shift and then just like.
All right, UI.
Then
not much I can shift into right now. That'll
Okay.
actually do damage to him.
So many dice.
Hmm.
Actually, can I borrow a d20?
No, not my d20. Okay.
You have like 3.
I'm using all 3.
Oh, now I see.
I have 2 attacks.
those are trolls.
Boom. Alright.
Man, that's a lot of poor rolls.
Well, these 2 are my mains. So, we're good. 19 plus 6.
Yeah.
All right.
So I dig an axe into his butt.
All right.
Oh man, axe in your butt.
I think it's
Axe in-
plus 4,
axe in
right?
the
Yeah,
butt.
plus 4. So 7 damage for that.
Nice.
Ew.
And then my reflavored punch is a 15 plus 6.
Reflavored?
Into an axe.
Yeah. So I take my axe that I just hit him with, and I just sort of like dig it in further and then rip it out.
Nice.
And that
That's
does,
weird.
it does 5 damage.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
My advantage rolls didn't do very well.
All right. Then that puts us at Fed Snack.
got
As
advantage?
you sort of land on the ground underneath him, he says, "Well, man, I don't know what a Yuane is, but I'll accept any blessing." And he's in the claws, and he just starts pushing out. And as he does so, he grips on to 2 of the dragon's fingers and just starts squeezing.
He's got advantage.
He does. Well, he crit with his first one and hit with his second. The crit, as he crushes one of the dragon's claws, the dragon roars and rears back, dropping him on the ground. The dragon takes 39 damage from the crit.
Steel
Wow.
This is
As
why
he
nobody
hits the
messes
ground,
with
he
half
grabs his mace again and swings it upwards, breaking one of the dragon's teeth, dealing another 17 damage.
I'll be taking that.
I don't even know why I'm in here.
All right, and that makes it the dragon's turn. All right, so the dragon is going to grab you again with his bite, and that's a 23 to hit,
Yep.
and that's going to deal 20 piercing. Well, I'm sorry. It's going to deal, I bet, 1 fire damage and 19 piercing damage.
Okay.
As he clamps down onto you, and he again throws you against the wall. And as he does so, he takes his claws and he crits the steel folk.
Oh, redo that, please.
All right.
Ah.
All right. So he still hits twice, but he doesn't have a crit anymore.
Also, does that mean that we attack him since he attacks
You
us
can.
That's true.
with advantage?
Now with advantage.
Oh, right.
Okay.
And a D4.
And I also sentinel for me. When attacking an adjacent creature, you can use your reaction to make an
Oh,
opportunity.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you can as well.
You
Yeah.
can do 2 attacks.
Holy
I know,
crap.
because it still takes you a reaction.
This isn't a reaction.
Right, but Sentinel is.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Mark isn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
I haven't used a reaction.
Jeez.
14 plus 6 is 21.
20? Okay.
And then not damage.
Okay.
I missed.
12 damage.
12 damage? Nice.
From a real good to hit. Well, I say real. From a sufficient to hit.
13 damage.
Okay.
As I'm going, not swinging sideways. Now I'm bringing them all downwards on top of his horn.
Okay.
At the top. And
Oh,
then
so we can kill a dragon apparently.
the second attack
God.
was poopy. No, that didn't hit at all.
All right.
Even
mine,
with advantage.
Mine hit too.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
got 19 to hit, and I got 7 damage to smack him with my axe again.
Okay. Nice.
Don't worry about me, guys. I'm chilling in the back.
He's looking pretty rough right now. As you start tearing into him, again acting in tandem in a beautiful synchronicity, you work together to shatter another one of the dragon's teeth. You take your axe to the dragon's broken finger. Taking your maul, you crush it into his ribs, and then your spear plunges upwards into the bottom of his jaw. He roars and flies into a rage.
Oh
no.
And that makes it Osborne's turn.
He deals +2 damage to all strength-based weapon attacks. And
Not
has
that kind of rage.
Resistance to all damage.
I need to be 30 feet away from him. So where is that?
Good luck with that.
Where I am now?
Wherever you want to be.
Oh, well, I'm going to create a thorn whip in my hand and try to whip him in the eye.
All right.
Whip him in the eye.
21.
21, that'll hit.
Yeah.
Right in the eye.
2 damage.
Okay. Nice.
I whip him and I look at the steel folk and I go, "That's Ewain." He said he didn't know what Ewain was.
Okay.
That was a whip. You ain't a whip.
Yeah.
No, it's
That's canon. That's what he says. All right, Thaddeus.
I guess I'll just keep on swinging. Just as
You ain't a whip.
he's roared now and is flying into it, but as he roars, then his mouth is still in convenient range.
That's true.
So I'm gonna try to get through the roof of the mouth because that's a pretty good target. Has it been your turn?
Nope. Still advantage.
Wow. Bummer for that guy. Yeah. Yeah, very much so. There's a nat 16 over
Nat
here.
16,
Yeah,
nice.
so 7 damage.
Okay, nice.
As I'm just swinging in, just
We're doing
one blow after another.
All right.
Still glowing furiously with Lorimir's light.
Then that puts us at the dragon's turn.
Oh, does it now?
I don't
Oh,
like
yeah.
that voice.
Well, no,
That's
it's
the
the
second
dragon's turn
dragon's
again.
Ah.
The second time this round.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And which means he sheds all conditions. So things like marks, stunned, paralyzed,
So
things
he's
like
not
that.
locked down anymore.
Not currently.
No.
At least you got one.
All right. So
we
as
all
he's
got
standing
one.
here, again he sweeps his claw into Fed Snack, but he misses the attack. With his other claw, he grabs on, let's say, to Esteem.
Oh, he rolled 7.
Okay. He goes for Esteem, and Esteem, as he comes for you, you hit the ground and do a log roll on the ground, popping back up on the side of him, slashing your short sword into his claw. He then drives down to bite into you for a 21 to hit.
I missed that one.
All right.
the one you wanted.
And as he does so, you take 18 piercing damage and 4 fire damage.
Yup.
I did not see this one. 18 and 4.
Yeah,
18 and 4.
Still alive.
And Esteem, it's your turn.
Oh, good.
How much health you still got there, Steve?
Enough.
Is that code for 6?
Right thereabouts.
On a range of 0 to 28.
Right there on the low end. Right there on the low end. Attack with my. I'll pull out Raptor with my other hand.
All right.
And attack in tandem.
I love it.
So both miss.
Aww.
And that's my turn.
All right.
I'm
Then
a little shaken. By
that puts us at Farin.
Let's see what you can really do. I squeeze tight around the maul, and it sheds bright light now.
Nice.
And I'm gonna. I don't know this. My character doesn't know this, but I know he's fire. It does fire damage as well, but oh well, I don't care. I'm smashing it down on the ground, not hitting the dragon,
Okay.
but I'm doing like a seismic
Magma spouts.
All right.
earthquake, lava spouting out stuff from the molten maul, and doing it in a way that affects.
Yeah, that only hits
dragon.
him. Yeah, sure.
And does he have him currently in his grasp still,
No.
or?
No, Fat Snack got
Yeah.
out.
Oh, he is.
Yeah,
or-
he's out. Fedsnat got out.
Okay,
He
good.
crushed fingers, remember?
Then cool. The dragon needs to make a DC 13 deck save.
It's a dragon.
So, if
He passed.
Right. Of course, but he'll take half of 8d6. So
8d6.
I feel like that's okay.
And
Fire
immune.
So as the flames, as these lava spouts erupt over him,
Don't
he
even
smiles,
Don't even roll.
and he says, a warm bath.
No.
And that puts us at UI.
Now we know.
I just screamed in the back. Don't use fire.
Will you forget the head slicing thing?
Okay, well.
But I don't want to use my head.
Okay, that's cost. That's like
Cartoon.
on the
Toy
edge.
Story.
And then Toy Story.
What? Oh. Yeah.
16 plus 6.
Alright.
Awesome. This one misses though. So I shove my axe into his foot, and it's a 9 damage.
9 damage?
By the
Okay.
way, Bless has 2 more rounds left.
And as I try to like
What?
pull my axe
No, it
back
doesn't.
out,
Well, that's for
It
10
has 6
rounds.
more rounds.
Has 6 more rounds.
Go
I was
ahead.
about to say,
Alright,
what?
and as I try
Did I
to pull
fall
my
asleep?
axe back out, my hand slips and I don't.
Oh,
actually
man.
use the one. So my axe is in his foot.
Alright.
True.
Get it out there before it flies away.
I mean, I'm trying. I only have one if you.
Alright.
Dark and
Fed Snack,
Oh, no,
and Fed Snack does have... Okay, nice. So, Fed Snack, taking his mace, swings it into the dragon's kneecap, and then rear-handing it, swings it back around to crash it the other way, dealing a total, between the two hits, of 37 bludgeoning damage.
That's my boy.
And it's the dragon's turn.
Swing away, Mal.
How's that knee looking?
Not good. The dragon
wiggly
shifts
lock.
his attention to Fed Snack,
Yeah, I
He's
imagine.
about to go down, man.
This is the end of our.
hitting all 3 times.
I have no clue what.
For 13 damage, 11 damage with the claws as he sweeps him up, bats him into the other claw, catches him, and then slams him back to the ground.
Sweet movements.
And then he takes a huge chomp down on him.
On the metal.
How many attacks does he
A
get?
lot.
3.
3 now.
22 damage.
Alright, for 27 damage total as he chomps down. He's now got him in his jaws like a dog with a toy, and he's ripping him back and forth, pulling at him with both of his claws.
No.
Still up?
He's still there.
Wow.
That puts us at Osborne.
What a
Osborne,
Tough son of a
being
gun.
mad that this halfling-made iron golem is being chomped, is gonna grab his thorn whip and try to whip the jaw of the dragon to see if he'll drop it. No.
Alright. Then Thaddeus.
I'm just gonna keep swinging in as it's shaking furiously on this this guy. Then I'm going for the neck as its
Nice.
neck is kind of exposed as it's thrashing this thing back and forth. I'm gonna try to
Alright.
stab it. Oh, there's the
Oh,
crit.
nice.
Really wish I had spell slots left.
Pally
That's
crit.
okay. Yeah, I pally crit with no spell slots, so
Yeah.
sad day, but
Crit.
still pretty good. 11 plus 4, so 15 total damage.
Nice. That's still a good one.
Yeah, as I just
Alright.
swing
As
it
you
right to the
plunge your
neck.
spear upwards, he
Leave him
roars
be.
and rears up on his back 2 legs, and he takes his right leg and he stomps it down onto you.
Uh-oh.
AC is 20.
21 for 15 damage.
Oh,
He takes-
but Sentinel as well.
All right, that's true. That's true.
No, that won't do it. 11 plus 6 is 17.
17? All right, and then he takes another step with his left foot and slams it down onto UI for a 26 to hit, dealing 16 damage.
Oh, she's down.
Then he squeezes his jaws together, clenching his teeth and saying, "You will tear like meat!" And that will be a... but as he does so, Fed Snack grabs onto 2 of his teeth, dropping the mace, which tumbles down to the ground, and he says, "I ain't so chewy as meat," and starts pulling the teeth up off of him.
Oh, he's awesome.
And that's gonna put us at a steam.
Oh, back to me.
Steve,
Well,
do
I'm
a
gonna-
thing.
I'm gonna do the thing. Oh, I don't roll a d6 on both of these.
Are you down or no?
I'm gonna attack with both of my weapons.
Swinging away.
Hey, yeah, well, They're both gonna miss again. Last
Oh,
one's a 16 on that.
that won't do it.
Yikes! I'm
So
just
slashing
rolling.
in your
Probably
weapons
should've magic
are
resist.
hitting every time, but not causing any damage as you plunge them against this armored hide. Farin.
All right, my
Alright.
sovereign, enough games. And I take my maul, and I'm going to just crack it right in his shins as he's holding on to what's his face.
All right.
Fet's neck.
That's
you
a
still
lot
up?
better. 17 plus 6.
Are you still up?
Okay, that'll hit.
3, 4, 7, 10 bludgeoning damage,
All right.
and I'm marking him.
All right, there you go.
Thank you.
UI.
I am not
Injured.
gonna hit for my bonus action, but for my main action, I'm gonna smack him with an axe. Hopefully. Haha, I don't. I got a 1, so that doesn't happen.
Nice.
So I'm gonna use my last key point to dodge
Or to disengage.
disengage out of here. Blah blah, you're on your own. 5, 10, 15.
As per usual.
Aww.
And that'll be my turn.
All
She's
right.
just been really unlucky. Like, she should have all kinds of temp HP, and it just hasn't
Fed
happened.
Snack. Oh man. Fed Snack's using all of his energy to hold this dragon's teeth from him. These two powerful creatures struggling against one another.
Yep.
Though he doesn't have muscles anymore, you can see in the expression on his face the strain that he's putting forth.
Was that an attack or?
He had 2
save?
missed attacks.
Ooh, even with bless.
Oh, right, he has Bless.
I'll come in to
Come
bless.
on, bro.
All right, one of them will hit.
Yes.
So as he's holding him off, he takes a fist and just goes BAM! Right into the roof of the dragon's mouth for
Come on,
damage.
Fet's neck. Win the day.
15 bludgeoning damage.
Fet's neck. Win the day.
And that puts us at Oh, no, that puts us at the dragon.
Yep.
The dragon roars, and for a moment, Fed Snack falls out of his mouth, but he chomps down again, hitting for 23 total damage, and that activates the mark.
Yes, it does.
Unfortunately,
18.
Can
plus
I,
6.
since I have a thorn whip?
I'm gonna be so upset if this dragon dies.
No,
right
that's a
now.
cantrip, so you can't make a
Maybe there's
opportunity
So
attack.
upset
24
if
to
this
hit.
dragon
24,
dies
that'll
right now. So upset.
26 to hit
Okay, that'll hit.
So
I'm hitting
that-
his tail again.
All right.
for a whole 5 damage.
Okay.
11 bludgeoning.
11.
I cannot hit with these weapons.
All right. Oh man. All right, Osborne.
Wonder how many more tries.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that was only his first
Yeah,
attack.
yeah, Dragon turn.
So the dragon, as he catches him back in his jaws, he says, "You're annoying me, slave," and he kicks you with his back foot
Oh,
for 28 to hit,
yeah.
dealing 9 damage,
Oh, that's okay.
Oh.
which is 1 more than minimum damage.
Yeah.
And then taking his other foot, as you stumble backwards, he slams it down onto you for a 26 to hit, dealing 12 bludgeoning damage.
He's still up?
I'm still up.
How?
All right,
Points you
How many hit points do you have?
I'm almost down.
and that puts us at Osborne.
He was still sort of level like 6.
Yeah, because he had the warlock level. Remember?
Is Fed Snack on the ground?
He is not. He's still in the dragon's jaws, and the dragon's in that pose that the miniature is, where he's standing up,
Okay,
basically.
well then I'm just gonna thorn whip this. I'm still gonna try to aim at that jaw. I would like
All right.
him to release my friend. 7 plus 5.
Oh man, you whip upwards, but the dragon's jaw now is too high for your whip to even reach. Thaddeus.
I'm just. It's too high for him to reach, but I'm going to use my bonus action to extend my
Nice,
reach
yeah.
by
So
5
you
feet.
shift down and.
shift down and then just thrust straight up into the air.
All
Let's see
right.
what I've got.
Ooh,
yeah,
that'll probably do it.
19,
Yeah.
25, so.
That's a good year.
For water.
10 damage.
10 damage.
Spearing up. Let him go.
Alright. Letting him go for a moment. He drops him onto the ground where he lands with a clang. And Fed Snack slams into the ground, and when he does so, you can see holes and dents all through his body.
No.
And he hits the ground, and he's not moving.
Loramir, safeguard this man. And I'm playing Defend the Fallen.
What's this? Choose an ally.
Well, I guess I will.
Interesting.
I will move.
What does defend
also.
the fallen do?
Defend the fallen.
And choose an ally who has been reduced to 0 hit points. As long as you are conscious and adjacent to that ally, they cannot be harmed further until they recover. So as he clatters to the ground, he looks straight at you in the eyes and he says, "Very well then, I'll leave him alone." And he comes at you with both of his claws, one of them sweeping down towards you for a 24 to hit,
Yep.
dealing 9 damage.
Yep.
And the other
How much of that is
grabbing
fire, by
onto
the way?
you from behind, none with the
Okay,
claw.
good.
Grabbing onto you from behind, and that's going to be a 25 to hit for 15 damage as he starts to squeeze.
All right.
2 more attacks, people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Ooh, yes, that's a 19
Yeah,
plus
you're
3.
saying
One's
what
good,
You do like no
and-
damage.
14.
Hey!
28
And the other is good.
Oh my
Okay.
god, dude.
26.
Nick is missing everything.
Oh,
you need
man.
new dice.
18 to hit.
Well, he's also
What's
using
that?
his
18 to hit,
his
yeah.
weapon
Okay, great.
as a
So
wizard.
This is a rapier.
Yeah. Total
Yeah, so
damage
dexterity
8,
based.
and then another
Remind me.
12, so 20 total damage from
Nice.
Darius. From those 2 swings, as I'm being just battered by the claws. Knocked one way, thrust the spear up, knocked the other way, slam into him with my shield.
Nice.
13. 13 plus 6 is 19 plus 3. 22 damage
Nice.
total for the 2 hits.
Whoa.
Nice.
Is this dragon dies right now?
All right, and that puts us at a steam.
Esteem, kill him with a chill touch.
Yeah, right. No, I'm gonna keep working on him with these.
All right.
I gotta make him happen.
You gotta make it happen.
Man, and if we get that
Eventually,
crit,
it's
yeah.
gonna be so good.
What do they do when they crit?
They
If one of them crits, even if the other one misses, they both crit.
Okay, I think that's another 2 misses.
Can I use on marks when we make attacks? Can I use command points when I successfully?
No, that's only on your turn.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
All
All right, Farin.
right.
Plus one
My
out.
dude.
Okay, boost.
Unfortunately, I think I am done being your slave, and
Oh.
I'm taking my maul and I am just
Wait.
uppercutting it right underneath the jaw.
If
All right.
he's denouncing, does that mean the warlock is gone?
And it's about to.
Uh-oh.
Not that I've been using
Is he
it.
gonna kill him now?
It's 19 plus 4 plus 6.
The turn I decided
Yeah.
to leave.
So the 20 through
Yes.
29. I'd call that a hit.
9
on
plus
anything.
3, 12 bludgeoning, and also lockdown.
Okay.
Thank you for the lockdown.
He says, "Then consider our contract at an end." You lose the warlock level, and that puts us at UI.
Great.
I have a
Does the
feeling
brand
he's gonna
disappear?
die
Yeah,
soon.
the brand for a moment erupts
Whoa.
into flames, and as it does so,
I'll
Oh.
take some damage.
you'll take 10 fire
Sorry.
damage. And now it's UI.
Great. Alright. I'm at 2
I think
HP.
I just killed Brandon. Oh no. Okay, good.
Dang it!
But I get
Why?
command point.
My
For a
You have
month,
advantage,
you're missing
You have
remember.
a
advantage.
lot.
You have advantage.
Cause lockdown. Come on, dude.
Man.
It's not because she's like her character's bad. She has bad rolls.
Yeah.
I got an 11 plus 6 is 17.
Oh my god.
But the other one, when I punch him, or run up and throw an axe and miss, and then I punch him,
Ooh,
that's
good
a
punch.
21.
That'll hit.
Starts with 20. It's probably good.
For 5 damage.
You slam a fist into his jaw, and he crashes against the wall. And as
The
he
monk
does so,
punched the
Yeah.
lights out of a dragon.
as he slams against the wall, he looks down at you and he smiles and he says, "You're better than I thought." And as he dies,
You punched him!
everyone roll a dex save
Oh,
Wait, also,
as he
also,
breathes his last breath.
We broke our contract.
As he dies, though, like
Nice.
his life force sort of comes out, and you can see me for a second, like doing like some cool prey stuff with my hands,
I'm going to
and it
Texas.
appears like I get a little bit stronger. Temporary health for.
Right on.
for
Also
sudden
me
death or
too.
whatever.
No, never
There
mind.
it
Don't do
goes.
that.
Crit fail.
I failed this deck save.
Likewise.
We are in good company.
I got
Well, lads, it's been a pleasure seeing you.
16,
I got
does
6
that pass?
temporary health points.
16 does pass. That's exactly what you needed.
A negative
Uh,
1.
Oh my
Fine
god,
for
I
those
just
dice.
heard that many
It doesn't
dice.
even matter. I have 2 HP. I'm going down.
Bubby. Me too. Me too.
I'll be fine.
Please don't do 38 points of damage.
No, it only deals 30 points of damage.
Oh my god!
30 fire
I'm alive
damage.
with one health.
I'm alive.
I'm alive, I'm so
16.
alive.
Oh! I would be down,
I'm not
except
dead
I
yet,
found
right?
some new armor last session that resists fire.
That's true.
So I'm actually up
That's
at
And
one
you have fire resist as well.
I do.
because of your swaddling.
So how much is it then?
At 15.
It's still more
I'm
than
still
enough.
0, but
But
Zeroed out.
it hurt less.
I'm not dead.
Yeah.
I didn't expect
So who's
it
still
to-
conscious? You two?
Yeah.
Alright.
It's just. My eyebrows.
The
are singed.
torches in the room are all
Beards
burning
have
brighter,
slivered.
and then suddenly they all. As the dragon's life force passes from the world.
But through me for a second.
Not ideal.
Also, we're down.
Yeah.
Down.
Smoldering
Yeah.
over here.
Down.
I've got.
And the.
I have noted that
That's
I have
it.
5 points of lay on hands left.
And the
so
dragon.
I
We
guess
have
that's
4 unconscious.
4 on conchos. So I guess that's convenient.
I mean, I can make
so
some
I'll-
pretty
I'll
darn
poke-
good messengers.
That is
Oh, the
one,
dragon?
one,
Yeah, he's-
one, and then I guess 2 for the
Oh,
steel
man.
folk, just to see, since he is currently safeguarded it.
He's laying there, and as he lays on the ground, he says, "Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
I can't see anything.
No.
Oh.
It is dark in here. Yes.
No, I can't move, and where am I?"
I'd like to cast. I'm gonna ditch guidance. I'd like to go over to his face and cast mend.
Alright. So as you cast Mend, you can see some of the, armor starts to weave itself back together.
I look at him and I say, "Don't worry, you're in the midst of a friend."
He says, I feel holes closing, but I still can't see. I can't move. It
Do-
seems as though you've been able to fix the material component of the steel folk,
Oh, not
but the
damage.
magical component and the glyphs are damaged.
What would I need? What about an Arcana check?
Unfortunately, the method for creating these is a very, very highly guarded secret
Yeah.
by the halflings. And though you are a
I
halfling,
wasn't
you're not
using
from
that.
the Frida.
I
So
would.
he would need to go home.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we will take him there.
Or,
Or ship him off.
If
That'd
I-
be faster.
I go over to Sam and very.
Who?
I go over to him
Osborne.
and I quietly to the side. I put a hand on his back and I say, I apologize, but I believe that it is his time to go with the black.
No, I don't want to go anywhere.
No, I said it quietly.
Never mind, I'm just saying that.
You see, I understand that you're a priestess of the black, but I'm a great priest of the green, and I believe it's not his time.
Okay.
Okay,
I
well,
would
I
love
have
to
nothing to say
I'd
to
love
you.
to shapeshift into an adult Myconid and then help drag him.
Oh, because they have pretty good strength, don't they? All right, yeah.
I'll help Dragon.
Me too.
I'll watch.
I will hold my blades
Me too.
ineffectively.
I am still learning how these work.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Dragging him back to the
It's actually
surface
twice the size of
near the
Big
huge
mushroom.
cover
It's
stone
not really that big, but
that was there sealing this temple before. You have a nice spot that you can make camp
What
for the
about
night
the,
until the dwarves arrive.
the treasures of the
could we
dragon.
have
The
lunch
treasure of the
on
dragon.
as well?
I mean, you could have a look at them as you look through.
Isn't it enough to pay to keep
Yeah,
the temple
it absolutely
and half my debt? I remember since last
And
session.
half your debt. You're right. Also, among I'm gonna have to pull this one
Can
up.
I cut open his stomach and get my axe
Half
back?
an hour.
You can. You can.
I thought she was talking about
This
football.
demo-
And I was
No,
like,
you're the
no.
one who kills the allies when they're down.
Can you take it to Pearl?
Yes, you can.
So
As you cut open, you split him from the center of his jaw all the way down the stomach. Thaddeus, knowing a bit and having been alive during the Third Rise, you start digging and you find a small glowing orange pearl within the gullet.
that's fine.
And
This is the greatest treasure here.
You find your axe. It's buried in dragon bile.
Is that,
What is that?
Should I touch it? Should
Dragon
I touch
pile.
it?
What is it? Did he get it stuck in
No,
something?
no,
On
they
the ground.
create them.
They create them
With-
enough pressure in the throat.
Your,
Binds a pearl,
your
almost like an
kinsman.
oyster.
your kinsman Thrym used them often for enchanting purposes.
Well,
That,
that's nifty. I didn't know that.
that half of Osborne's debt, that is out of his share. Right?
That is now there. The thing is you could take that and split it amongst the party, but if there's enough total to cover building around the temple and half of Osborne's debt,
I see.
so it's up to you guys if you want to let him pay off his debt or if you want to.
And also
I
there
know.
was another
I want to pick some
Wait,
spells.
he-
Yes, there is another thing. I'm getting to that.
thing. Oh, okay.
Then we're all being hunted.
Oh, he's being hunted.
Are you saying you're not gonna fight? And... Okay.
As much as
Fair.
his character is kind of a doofus who's gotten us into trouble,
Hey,
he's also
he
saved.
saved my
He's also
life.
saved
I
your
like
neck several
him.
times, mine a couple times,
How has
hers
he been
8 or
a
9
doof?
times.
How has Osborne been a doofus?
Hey, you
No,
see those
it's a
orcs
goblin.
over there cooking food over a fire? Let us
Once.
now engage them when we are wounded.
Once. So one time he's been a doofus. Which carpet?
You know,
carpet? Which
Oh,
carpet?
everybody.
You made a blanket
under the
statement.
proverbial carpet.
You made a blanket statement that he's always a doofus.
You made a blanket
Alright.
statement. Which carpet's not?
Who wants to do this for me? I need someone to roll me a d12.
I got you.
Be Greg.
Who has D12s?
3.
A 3.
Looks like he's about to jump out of your arm.
I wonder if that was good or bad.
Bad.
You reckon?
Yeah.
All right.
What if it was neat?
So a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
I'd like to stay with the steel folk at all times
Roll me a d20.
and use my mycated
Don't
mushrooms
die.
to create a bioluminescence.
3. What the heck?
That's consistent.
You accept it as a D12 and then a different D20.
Yeah, you doofus.
can.
See, you get one thing wrong, you're always a doofus.
I think it's, I mean, that's been the case.
Blanket statements. You get one. You get one. You get
All
one.
right.
We all get
I
one.
don't think you're a doofus.
Thank you.
I think you're a doofus.
Oh!
But I like that you're a doofus.
Yeah,
the
it's,
big one.
it's one of the things that's rather endearing about you, Samuel.
All right. So you find buried in some of the treasure a gold chain with a small sensor attached to it. Sensor like C-E-N, not like S-E-N.
Yeah. What,
It has
What is it?
3
What-
holes
what- what-
and a
what-
depressed
what-
cavity on one side, and it looks about like that.
That looks pretty sweet. I would love to investigate that.
All right, you can roll me a religion, history,
I'm good at religion.
religion or
I'm
history,
pretty good
either
at
one.
religion. Let's go.
I can.
Oh, I'm pretty good at religion. That was a 20 total.
Oh,
Soft
wow. My dice are not
I
playing
got
ball
16.
today.
So
20. Paladin knows stuff.
Hey,
Okay.
never mind.
you've actually you remember as you were traveling through here, you saw this sensor in one of the images before, and you were reading some dwarf runes that you had seen on the wall as you traveled through. And you know that the story of this item is that amongst the prized possessions of the leader of the dwarves who founded this temple was this necklace given to him by his matriarch, who was the matriarch Alberata, who was known in her later years as what?
Nothing.
Who was known in her later years as the Witch Hag of the Deep.
Whoa.
In her youth, she was a dabbler in the arcane arts, though she couldn't cast them herself, being a dwarf. She studied them intently and bestowed upon the dwarf this trinket of her own design. She used some powerful crafting in order to create this, intended to entrance him and lure him to her to love her forever. You read all this story in the runes. What she hadn't realized at the time was that of all the heroes and villains in the world, this person was one of the most famed confounder of plans, great and small. The charm did not work as intended, and the resulting folly drove Albarada to kill herself. The trinket went on to be passed down from father to son to uncle to nephew for generations of his bastard line. Attunement requires you to. It was said that only the luckiest among that line would ever gain attunement to this item. Only those who won or lost a fortune in gambling. So only the luckiest or unluckiest could attune to it. And when attuned, it was said that the person who was wearing this item, chance swung more often in their favor.
Oh, okay. So I guess that goes to him.
All right.
Because I would have been reading it, I would have been remembering the story,
Yeah.
and so I would have spoken out loud. And when I got to the point of, it would have needed to have been someone who was fortunate or unfortunate, who won or lost a fortune.
Yeah, adult Mike and he goes. Shakespeare, that's me.
Inspiration.
That's me.
Inspiration. All right. So do you hand it to him?
I do.
All right. So you can spend 10 minutes attuning to it if you want. And you remember that it was said that if you wanted to make use of its magics, you had to pour wine or spirits into the hollow. Mechanically, if wine or spirits are poured into the hollow, the censor treats all inspiration dice rolls as being at least a 10 for the next minute. When rolling with advantage from inspiration, pick one d20 to be the inspired die. If it rolls less than 10, count it as having rolled a 10.
We don't use inspiration dice.
You can.
I didn't think we could anymore.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can.
Sorry.
You just normally
So
don't.
that's what the necklace does. I have to pour wine into it
Right.
in order for it to.
Right.
Rolls.
Okay, I'm gonna take my lucky charm. I'm gonna hand it to the warlord and say it's a charm from UA, and then I'm gonna don that one. He doesn't know.
That's fair.
Yeah, you declare everything as being from Uwain. Uwain is to Osborne what honor was to
Yeah.
Lord.
With honor!
Well, it seems like some religion in some form or fashion always haunts me, I guess, so thank you. I appreciate it.
I think it's more of a blessing than a haunt. Trust me, you'll enjoy it.
I did appreciate that bless, though. That was a very nice bless.
Lucky charm means you get to re-roll any die 3 times. 2 times.
Well,
Two times a day?
2 times.
Yeah.
2 times per
Long
session.
rest.
Per session.
Basically.
Got it.
Typically.
Unless you level up. Sorry,
Okay,
keep
go
going.
All right. Well, then you take a long rest.
Oh, okay.
Thank
Can I
we
say
take
something?
it.
So do you guys need to level up real quick?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, do that. I'm going to run to the restroom.
We are now leveling up to level 5.
While y'all do that, I'm gonna say something before we go into the long rest. You know, I feel a little empty and a little full at the same time.
Should get that checked out.
You made the wiser choice. You made a mistake and you strove to correct it.
To be
There is
fair, we
nobility in that.
more or less made the decision for him, I think.
Still, you could have sided with your new master against us, and you didn't.
Ah.
Well done.
What's preserved life?
That is.
That's the life cleric's channel.
Oh yeah, it's.
What does it do?
I think if anything that's below half health, you can heal for some amount. I think it's like you have like a pool of hit point. Man, I'm just.
I believe it's 5 times your cleric. I believe it's 5 times your cleric.
You know what's funny?
Nick, you're hilarious.
You know what's funny? I think that the dragon would have more mercy on me. If Thaddeus were to go against me, he would have no mercy on me at all.
Correct.
That's correct.
Yes, it is.
For hit dice is a long.
But again-
rest for,
You made the right choice.
we round down for hit dice is a long rest, right?
It is.
Let-
To get half of
yeah,
this
I
time
think so.
your cleric level. Man, it's going to be a few days till it goes.
I'm going to take this opportunity while they level up to remind you once more, for those who are just now tuning in, or for
Welcome,
those
welcome.
who have just forgotten. Remember, today we are sponsored by Prince of the Realm. Here's a great example of a Prince of the Realm map. They are vinyl, wet erase, full color. They're absolutely incredible. If you would like to get your hands on one of these, our sponsor has offered to give away one here on the stream. So please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. The YouTube video of this episode right here, this is going to be episode 11. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Episode 11. And as you do, you'll be entered into a contest to win a map of 10 square feet or smaller.
Of your own design.
Of your own design. That could be any design you create yourself or one you've purchased from the internet, such as from Mike Schley.
Extra attack.
Yeah.
Also me, but it
And
costs
Sunny
action.
Strike.
And we will post on Facebook and Instagram who the winner is. By the way.
Shall like, subscribe.
Just in case you may have missed it. We will definitely tell you.
So what do we even do after this?
Well,
We'll go to
as
the
you as you finish leveling up, I'll go ahead and continue. In the morning, a contingent.
Conductor.
A contingent of dwarf soldiers, armored in mithril armor and bearing the sigil of Ezelheim, all arrive. Standing at their head is Tudila. And as she arrives, she says, "I hope you were able to clear this place out."
We were able to do more than that.
A little bit more.
There was a dragon here in command of the deep goblins. Its horde.
Don't tell me you brought down a dragon.
Look.
You lead her down into the
Well, I guess I can
temple.
just pull out the pearl.
Oh yeah, then as you show her
Did
the
they know?
pearl, she takes it and she holds it in her hand, and she says, "Warm. You killed a red dragon?
We did.
Impressive."
Well, we had some help. I gesture at the immobile, blinded steel folk.
She goes over and she says, "One of these? I've not seen one of these since I suppose the Battle of Abydos."
Yes, and then he needs dire help. If you could please assist me in sending him back home.
He says, "Yeah, what he said." And she says, "Oh, still moving, or still alive, I see. Our smiths, even with their great capabilities, do not know the magics of the halflings. We could perhaps get him to them, though. We have
Could the forges here help?
no. Unfortunately, they could
It's
not.
the magic.
We could fix his body, but not the glyphs. The halflings.
No.
Oh, sorry.
You're breaking everything.
The halflings keep the magical processes of enlightening these hunks of steel a great secret. He says, "Damn right I'm a hunk." And she laughs for a moment. And she says, "You don't want that." And she says,
Why not?
"Well, you saw it the other day in action."
Oh, God.
So
That's so painful.
she says, "This, though, this is a kingly prize." Holding out the jewel, the pearl. And she says, "Do you know what you could do with this?"
I do not.
I've heard stories. I've heard that the neckbreaker's flail was enchanted by one of these. Not a red. I think it was a black.
It's said that elven magic comes from those.
Elvin?
Yes. In the old days, it's said, the elves stole a great pearl from the dwarves, from the gods of the dwarves. They took it home with them to their golden palaces in his seam. And there they wrought its magic into their own.
The mantle.
Yes. Yes. They are prized for their use in giving items and objects magical properties.
Elves being greedy. One doesn't
It
equip
seems-
them without property.
I do. Fair to esteem.
What has he stolen?
The afterlife from hundreds of creatures, most likely.
Very clearly, I've stolen the intelligence from the
Inspiration.
He's like reading a book.
I like to imagine he really wants to say a book. Barely glances up, goes back to what
What's the
he's doing.
steel folk gonna say about that?
Nothing.
He says, it's fair.
You're my best friend.
Would
But
you be able to do something with this, with something that we have here?
Are there forges in this temple?
There are.
Yes, I could.
It was, I believe the fire was flamed by the dragon here, but if it still works, it works, I
There
guess.
are channels to the fires under the earth as well.
I could likely make something of it. Give me an hour. What do you want it on?
That's all you need.
That's all I need.
You've not seen a master smith at work before, have you?
No.
Well, that's no good. I'll actually gesture towards one of her axes.
That's pretty smart, yeah. All right. So you want it
Well,
on
and
an
she
axe?
killed it, so
That's true. Want it on an axe?
Yes.
the
All
dragon
right.
fell.
So she takes it down, and an hour later she emerges, and your axe in the center. Do you want it on that dwarven axe you have?
Yes.
Yeah, but that was isn't that one two-handed strength based?
No, you have that one throwing axe that you got.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was really
So
finely
she
made.
takes that dwarven axe, the one with the black iron blade,
Right.
and she takes it. Now, about an hour later, she returns, and it has an orange fiery gem set into the center of it. It looks like she had dremeled a hole and then set this pearl right into the center of the axe's head. She also added some detailing to carve the front of the blade so that it looks like a dwarf's beard and face.
Awesome.
Okay. I'm down.
And she says, "A gift then from the Church of Stone." And as she hands it to you, it is now a hand axe of the Ild rune. So it will deal. It does not require attunement, and it deals an extra d6 fire damage on any hit.
On every hit?
On every hit.
Okay.
Yeah, Barnaby has one of those on his dagger, and he's got another one lined up for his whip once he's done it.
That's cool. So she's got a
I like
pulse.
the giant.
It's the Ild rune.
Yeah, it's from Storm King's Thunder. I think is where it first appeared.
It's neato.
All right. So, with that, she says, "I believe we can hold our own here. You said there was a great horde."
This way. And we'll lead them down to the Great Horde.
Looking at it, she looks around and she says, "We might not have to fight after all. This is more than enough to fund the building around the temple.
Also enough for half of my debt.
You're welcome to it then."
Good portion of it that does not include mine.
You're so mean.
Roughly 4/10 of his debt.
Amazing. Inspiration. So it says,
Why does it keep giving you inspiration?
Well,
He keeps being
He's a
funny
main character.
Well, I'm gonna take a platinum
I'm in
card.
character.
all right, they're right. I think Platinum's on the right here.
Nice.
He says, or she says, "I believe that Nullius was waiting for you before he headed north. He is making the pass up to the line, and he would like for you to come with him to appeal to the king."
To the line?
Yeah, where the fighting is happening.
Because remember last time he had told you that King Agart was actually touring the line currently.
Yeah.
Did he want us to do this today or the next day?
It will take a week at least for
Oh,
you to even get
thank-
back to Krari's Pass.
Good. I will need some drink before this.
Very well. So, anything else you want to do here?
In the temple?
Yeah.
Was
we had our long
there
rest?
Yeah. They arrived the next morning.
was there like an ample amount of like adamantine or something?
I mean, there's adamantine. Yeah, there's plenty of it. It can't be worked without incredible sources of heat.
No.
So it would have to be some sort of powerful elemental magic or a dragon's fire.
Right.
Or a hammer set with an Ild rune.
Ooh.
You could do it.
Oops.
Hammer, but axe.
Yeah.
Okay. Then not really.
Then
I keep looking at this like it's the temple, but it's not. So.
then
This is the next
about
thing.
a week passes as you travel through the deep. You eventually pass by some of the dwarves on their way to start building and relay the information. There's now enough money to fund them to build around. The gifts coming in from the Temple of Stone.
Speaking of funding, we just got a $5 Patreon
Ooh.
donation from Tyler Price.
Oh, is that reroll one?
Yeah, he's got the reroll, so
Haha.
he can change any reroll from.
Call it whenever you
Yeah,
need.
call it from any number between 1 and 20.
Is the
Tyler, this is your pencil. I stole it. Thank you. I'm
Give him a 1.
Yeah,
Give him
give
a
him
1.
one. Is this tunnel large enough for us to be riding? Like, has he gotten my horse back?
I mean, it's in Karari's Pass.
Oh, okay,
currently.
so we're not back.
Yeah. So, you eventually arrive at Karari's Pass. And once there, you head to the inn and you see that Nullius already has his things packed. And he has booked a large carriage pulled by 2 draft horses. Yeah, and he says, are you ready then to head to see the king?
Before, I would like to go and talk to the guy that starts with F, the dwarf.
Which one?
The one that you wanted to go into business with?
No.
Okay.
The one I owe money to.
Thefram?
Defram.
That's like an F.
I don't think. Well,
There's F in it.
Yeah.
Defram.
Was it
Thefram.
Thevram that you owed
No,
money
it
to?
wasn't Defram. It was.
it's whoever Thefram owed.
Yeah,
Flag?
whoever it. Flag.
No.
No,
It was half of Thefrin's debt. That's what you played the card game
Yeah,
for.
Thefram.
Or the
Yeah, I
dice
thought it
game.
was Thefram.
Alright,
Yeah.
so I'd like to go to Thefram and present him half my debt.
All right.
4 tenths of it.
Half my debt.
So you present him
Roughly
with
that.
4/10 of your debt.
No, half my debt.
He claimed
I
10.
gotta paper spells, man.
That's true. And he's really gonna want that soon.
It's pricey.
So what was your total debt, by the way?
4K.
4K. All right. So 4/10 of it is what? I'm terrible at math.
18.
It would be
1500.
1,600. All right. So you give him 1,600, which means you have
400. That's
400 gold.
Like 2 spells.
And you give him this amount, and he looks at it. He says, "Well, I didn't think you'd be bringing this back so soon."
No problem.
All right. Give me the rest pretty soon.
I just
Else I'll have men on your butt.
So the reason I made that debt is because Flag and Bello were going to go grab the rest of that money.
Right.
The Mithril.
Have they come back with it yet?
They have. But they came back empty-handed. They couldn't locate the mine.
Yeah, of course.
All right, I'll get the rest to you soon.
And he says, "See that you do."
I was really counting on that. It didn't happen.
Man, this is a lot like real life.
All right.
Student loans.
So,
Government takes all your money.
Nullius says, "Are you ready then?"
Nullius, let's not be too hasty, Alan. Let's get some wine for the road.
Take all the wine you need. But I promise you, we should be hasty. We don't want Agate to head back to the capital before we arrive.
I would love to grab some mead, honey wine.
Says, that's my favorite as well. I already have it loaded up.
Sweet.
Yes, I presume it is.
Now I'd love to pour it in my jar.
All right.
Oh, nice.
So we set off then?
Yep.
All
I'd
right.
like to drink some and pour some.
As we're, are you?
Can I get my
horse?
hoofy?
Yeah.
Okay, I would love to sell.
Right.
that.
Can you have my horse back?
Yeah. So setting off.
Well, as we're now on the open road, then Thaddeus has been kneeling, or I guess in the carriage in prayer for several minutes, and then looks up as hoofbeats sound from outside the carriage, and an enormous war ram
Yes.
shows up. And he goes, Lorimier provides. Keep the horse. And I'm gonna saddle up on my found steed.
Oh,
Ram.
All right.
I was about to
He's
say,
got a
like,
ram.
what?
What did you
change
just?
it?
Did you just decide it, Greg? You just have that now? Yeah, I just have
All
it.
right. So as you
That's
head
cool.
off towards the north, you travel out east to the other side of the mountains through the pass, and you head north along the edge of the mountains for a few weeks, traveling, fighting every now and then bandits and things like that, until finally you arrive at a mountain path that you know to lead upwards to Piran's Bluff, which was a key point during the end of the Six-Fingered War, and is now one of the stops on Agert's tour. As you ride up towards Piran's Bluff, however, you come down through a mountain pass, and you get close to it, and suddenly Nullius stops the carriage. He says, "Wait! Look at those banners."
What do they look like? Is it orc banners?
As you look down the banners, they're not orc banners, no. But you see that the banners there are no banners of Thrimakath or Caneth anywhere on this this city. There's this other banner that you don't recognize.
And not an orc banner.
Not an orc banner. It's instead, it is a black banner, and it's this tall rectangular banner. And in red, it has inscribed on it a triangle upside down with a dot right above the triangle.
What color is the dot? Is it red?
It's also red.
Huh?
That means it's raining. I
What?
just learned about this in school. That's okay.
Okay.
All
It's a weather symbol. It means it's raining.
All right.
Make a history check on that.
You've never seen it before.
Can we prove it?
And
I'll prove it.
Nullius points a finger out, and you can see that arrayed sort of around the city is an army of Thrym people.
Oh.
He says, we could come in through the back entrance if we needed to. We should. We should. Piran's Bluff is famously impossible to lay siege to. The mountains provide them great cover and a fantastic way to resupply if they need to. Their minds are strong. Their soldiers haughty.
Are we technically in mountain environment?
You are.
Okay.
He shakes his head and he says, I don't know what could have happened here. The Baron... Odd.
Who is the Baron here?
He says, currently I'm not sure. I know that during the Six-Fingered War, it was a man by the name of Vendikar.
Oh yeah, that guy.
He says Vendikar was working with the Confederacy of Lords. During that time, a small team under the command of then just a general, but a man called Dekovia, who would later become Lord Knight. Dekovia sent this small team into Piran's Bluff to assassinate the Baron. It's my dice box. He says, it seems they've fallen once again into enemy hands. Old habits, it seems, die hard.
If King Aegert is in trouble at Piran's Bluff, we must be quick.
I should hope King Aegert is not in there. That would be very disagreeable. He says, this carriage, though, is just a rented merchant carriage. The dwarves use them all the time. If we come down in through the back, they might let us in, but not so heavily armed.
Sounds good.
No,
No. Bad.
Doesn't sound good at all.
No, bad.
not for me and Thaddeus.
No.
Can you not use your hands
Yeah,
to punch at them?
I agree.
You're both strong people, yes? You're
Not
hard
as
fists.
good as Boss UI.
I'm very good at punching people.
He says, but we have to go in.
Alright.
This army will be laying siege here for weeks, if not months. Their food supplies could last a very long time, and every moment this army spends here is another moment that it's not spent fighting Caneth, another one that it's not spent reinforcing the waste against the dwarves, and another that's not spent protecting the king. If we could get into the city, take out the Baron, whoever he might be, and rout his supporters, we could open the gates once more to Thrimakath.
We don't need the Baron. making trouble along with all the other problems we have.
No.
What with all the orcs and everything. Is there any other way besides the back, or is that just the way we have to go?
There's only 2 gates into the city. We're going to have to leave our arms and armor here.
The armor as well.
If we were to walk into a city in full armor, they would surely think us aggressors. We will have to make ourselves look like merchants. Only small weapons that we can conceal. That's all we can take inside.
What can minor illusion do?
Huh?
I'm good at that.
Minor
I can't
illusion.
Even do it. I can't even do it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind.
I'm gonna keep mine on.
You can keep what?
I'm gonna keep my armor on. I'm gonna shapeshift when we get there.
What into?
Probably just.
You could you could literally shapeshift into just a flower, and you could be
what
placed
I-
inside.
That's
Carry you.
exactly what I was
All right,
thinking.
cool.
In a
Yeah.
little pot.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to be a sentient
Yeah, it doesn't
plant.
have to be sentient. Yeah.
Nullius, can't we just put weapons at least in the caravan?
I might just go into like.
He
as a
says
good
they'd
berry.
search it while under siege.
Put flowers in there.
Do they have time to divert?
If I were being laid siege to, I would spend my time searching any caravan that came in. We only have the one carriage, that's not much to search.
Maybe we throw our weapons over the edge
How-
and go retrieve them.
How many items can I hold while in shapeshift?
I mean, all of them. But only, the stuff that's currently, being held.
How many hands do you have? What weapons do you have?
2.
What weapons? Do you
I
have?
tossed him my spear.
So I
to
have
see
a
if he could
spear.
hold
I
on to it.
normally put my quarterstaff in the back because I never really use it.
Could you hold one of mine?
Yeah.
You won't be able to shapeshift if you're encumbered, though, is the thing.
Oh. okay,
And
it's
remember, think
It's
about
a pike, right?
think about whenever
Malls.
you, if you need to get into the city, basically you won't be able to shift out while they do any kind of reconnaissance or negotiation or anything, because immediately they'd see you holding all these weapons.
I'll hold on.
Fair.
Pike's heavy. You can't do that.
If I give you my quarterstaff, use it as a walking stick. I can hold your maul.
But of course, the moment you shift it out,
I don't plan on it.
you don't plan on
Talking?
I mean, you don't plan on spending less than 2 hours in
out of game. I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be really boring for you if you don't ever
Got a
shift
point.
out.
Here's your spear.
we talked earlier about the fine steed and how if it was summoned and I put stuff into its saddlebags or whatever, that it would stay.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to just give it everybody's gear.
No, okay.
Yeah, you could give it like an actual saddlebags worth of stuff.
Okay.
Nullius says, Piran's Bluff is known for its mining. They certainly will have a place where we could acquire weapons, or we could take out the guards and take some of their own. Perhaps find, I believe there's a hunting lodge in the town. We might be able to find bows there.
You say mines. Is there another entrance to these mines on the outskirts?
That's what the back entrance is for.
Oh, fantastic! Let's
Hunting
just
lodge.
leave our weapons.
Would I
That's
be
where the old
technically?
Hell Knights are, isn't it?
They used to operate out of there for some time.
The Blackguard. That's who's that. The old Blackguard Rangers.
Yes, some of the Blackguard operate out of there now. The Hell Knights had an outpost in Piran's Bluff for some time before they broke trust with the king, but that was hundreds of years ago. Now they operate out of Fort Inevitable.
Would I technically be counted as heavily armored or heavily armed if I just basically wore my adamant armor and shield?
Just your adamant armor and shield? You
Would
wouldn't be
I-
counted as heavily armed, but immediately if somebody saw you and they didn't know you, I mean, it's a human town. If they saw a halfling in armor, they'd be like, this guy didn't work for us.
So where would we put our stuff?
And he's already taking off his armor. And
I guess I will too.
he says, I was thinking right here. And
At least
he's
dig a ditch or something.
he says, well, of course. And he grabs a shovel out of the back as he gets his breastplate off, and he tosses one to you and one to you, and he says, let's start digging.
I want a shovel. Can I keep the shovel?
What's that?
Can I keep the shovel?
Can you keep the shovel? I mean, sure, I guess.
Good.
Non-provised.
I have a broom and a shovel.
He
You need like a
Good
rake.
job. You're gonna.
but now you
start
could
cleaning
attempt to conceal a weapon that is no larger than a hand axe, a dagger, a light hammer,
A lance?
Yeah.
Where?
A collapsed lance. It's telescope.
It's like one of those lightsabers.
Carried this uncomfortable hunk of metal for 2 years.
And I didn't mention it, by the way, but Tudila was ensuring that that Fed Snack would be shipped back to.
That was a knock at the door.
It was a kitty, I think.
That was not a kitty.
That's
Kitty can't
totally
knock.
not a cat.
That was the other cat.
Oh.
Who's not on the door?
Yeah, it was Booster.
No surprise visitors.
Oh my god, there's a bang at the door.
All right. Do
So I have hand axes. I'm good.
you want to try to conceal them?
Yeah, I already have them concealed.
All right, roll me a stealth check.
I'll show her the best way to conceal it.
All right, you have advantage.
I will come.
I
to
surely
you.
know
That's
that.
the way to do that.
Put
Okay.
them in your pants.
I don't actually know.
You're just watching like,
This-
no, around the front. No.
Let me show you.
Oh, it's
God.
Yeah, like 623 if you could.
18 plus 6.
All right. So you're able to conceal 2 hand axes pretty easily by folding your.
I am wearing pants under a dress
Right.
that have harnesses on them.
No, I know, but you're able to conceal them well by folding part of your dress up to almost look like a bustle, so that it covers the bump of the hand axes.
I'm gonna assume you're not wearing your crazy Smith gear currently.
No, I took that off.
But you could have that with you. I mean, it's Smith's gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm a smith.
Maybe.
Maybe that's my job.
Maybe.
In that case, it would definitely conceal that.
Oh.
I'll wear it if you don't want to.
I'll wear it if you don't want to.
I'm just saying.
I would like
Nollius
If
says,
we're playing
that
this
ram you
stereotype-
ride, are you attached to it?
What do you mean?
If we're going to pass ourselves as merchants, we're going to need to have wares. And as he does so, he ties up his long hair into a bun, and he says, exotic meat is always popular, especially during a siege.
This is a divine gift from Loromir.
I would not ask you to give such a thing up then.
And
Also, I'm fairly certain it will just return to him when it dies.
I did not know. I would not have asked such a thing had I known
I
from
read
whence
the
it
spell
came.
description just now, and if it returns to 0 hit points, it disappears.
Oh, there you go.
So that will not work.
I don't quite know what I want to turn into yet. I think I might turn into an orchid.
Can we keep our mounts at least?
Of course, we just have to debarred them. And you can see he's taking the armor off of his.
I don't
Turn
think
into
I have
an
any on mine, so.
You do, actually.
I do actually, because of your
Yeah, because it was
your
my
goofy-
horse. So,
I still
mine
keep
is
my armor and my
looks
shield.
barded but isn't, so I
Just
guess
in
I'll
case
just
stuff goes
remove
down.
the showy barding.
Wait,
Because
say
then I
that
can
again?
throw my shield over to the dwarf.
Say that again?
I said I kept my armor and my shield on. If things go sour, I can toss my shield to the dwarf.
I like it.
That means that, okay.
I go around
Oh, that's
picking
cool.
up
That
flowers.
puts my AC from 9 to 11.
Yeah,
So.
so.
This is important. I go around picking up flowers that look like what Sam turned into, and I start putting them into my braid. And then I
Alright.
put Sam like right at the front.
Alright.
So I can see everything.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Nullius has now taken all of his armor and put it in the ditch. He's covering all the weapons and armor, and he takes
That feels
out
like
this
something so bad,
this
though.
large bastard sword with incredible gold filigree on the hilt, and he lays it down gently on top, wrapping it in his
There you
cloak.
go.
And then he says, "I'm going to feel very naked without that.
You're
And-
telling me.
Bury everything."
The fighting men
Where
are
it
just
belongs.
not pleased with the situation.
Oh, Nullius isn't
I'm
pleased
not.
with it at all.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
fine.
you guys are like,
Now the monk's gonna be useful.
oh, she killed the Dargan.
Yeah, who killed the dragon?
You all look about half as wide.
The other day, I said something like that. Sam goes, "Is that a fat joke?" And I
Not a
go,
fat joke.
"Darling, it's no joke." With the boss that was fighting him. All right, so as you ride down in the town, he says, "I suppose we could say we were waylaid by orcs on the way here
The
and
flower
lost our
moves
wares."
in air.
Yes.
In fact, we were.
Yeah.
So,
He says, "Well then, I'm sorry about this." Poof! And he punches his steam in the face.
Oh my god, the flowers like.
And he says, "And now you."
Oh, am I still conscious?
Go ahead. Yeah.
He's so caught. He just punched you in the schnoz.
You've now got a bleeding nose and it's like bent out of place.
He's been here a while. He's kick off.
Roll to hit strength.
I will just
Ugh.
suck him right there.
That's not. You're gonna need to hit me harder than that.
The crawling claw.
Say something pretty good. I'll throw the crawling claw.
Catapult.
God, oh, what? And he peels it off of his face and he says, well, that is a nasty trick, and throws it back. And he says, I had not thought a silencer would hang out with such heathens.
Loremir has a strange sense of humor, it seems.
As it does. Perhaps your touch might be better suited.
Right.
And he goes, and you.
I'm good.
Yeah, that's so weird.
I'm good.
How many of these are we handing out?
And he says, I'm sorry.
I'm a lady.
For him.
I walk
Right.
away.
And he says, Nullius shrugs and he says, and just to make it fair. And he picks up the flower and goes, and just
You just hit the flower like,
and he sets it back.
I like how immediately ready Farin was to beat the nonsense out of the monk. Stop missing in combat.
I didn't get to hit anyone.
And with that, you head into the town. We're going to take our break right there, guys. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Tune back in at 8:10.
Thanks, guys.